Well, good evening and welcome back to Rangers Radio, this post-match show. Joining me, Oxter, this Bridgeman and Linda. Evening, boys and girls.
Evening, Oxter. Evening, Bridgeman. Hello, everybody. I hope you all had a great Christmas.
Can I just say a huge good evening to you guys in the panel. Massive good evening to the boys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world. Another box ticked. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
Another box ticked. Right, Linda, thoughts?
Yeah, another box ticked, as Bridgeman says. Absolutely delighted with that win. Yes, it wasn't the most brilliant performance of the season. However, we've went there. Difficult fixture, ahead of a big game at the weekend, and we've got the 3 points. I am absolutely buzzing that we got the 3 points there.
Bridgeman.
When you think about it, that's us played 21 games of the season out of the 38. Yeah, so we'll get 17 games to go. And we're not even in the new year yet.
His new abacus he got
I know, and we're not even in the new year yet. Oh my goodness gracious! What? By the way, I was mightily impressed by most of our midfield and the defence stalwarts as well. Can I just say this right now? In my opinion. And that's what I watched today. I watched a masterclass by Mr. Aribo. That was outstanding, absolutely outstanding.
I thought he was superb, and I thought Glenn Kamara done some excellent things as well, Lynn.
Oh yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree with that. They two were superb. And Alfie getting his goal as well. Oh. And, that was a great finish. And he also did quite a lot of good defensive work, particularly in the first half. He had a couple of clearing headers. He won a couple of free kicks. He worked really hard. Could have had another goal, but I was delighted that he scored today, Ox. Absolutely delighted.
Yeah, very well done, Mr. Morelos. Very well done. Marvellous show, and well done. Good goal.
Obviously, we got a bit of luck. For our first goal, took a bit of deflection. Nice pass behind you for Roof. Roof hits it, and he gets the goal. Comes after the boy and goes into the net. And then the second goal again, we get a wee bit luck. The boy misplays the back pass, and Alfie had a similar chance in last week. Last week.
Yeah.
And screwed it by the post, and he coolly finished it, Linda. So hopefully his confidence is growing. I thought he was the best in the front three. I thought the boy Hadji done all right. Ruth Goldie's goal was a wee bit quiet for me.
Yeah.
Stephen Davis was the governor as far as making things happen. But on the ball, Joe Aribo and Glenn Kamara. Joe Aribo does what Joe Aribo does, but Glenn Kamara showed some passes and flicks that I didn't know he had in his locker, Linda.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're just seeing Glenn Kamara growing in confidence as well, Ox, aren't we? And he's pushing, further up the park. Sometimes you want him to maybe have a shot a wee bit more, but, it's hard when there's 6 or 7 players in front of you. And it's the same with Joe Aribo, but they're just absolutely wonderful on the ball. And we're so lucky to have the two of them in our squad and in our team. I would agree with you. I thought Roof was a wee bit quiet, but his goal, he deserved the luck because his movement off the ball was superb. The ball through from Hadji, and he's just hit it as hard as he could, and it's taken the wee nick and it's went over the goalie. I thought that was absolutely brilliant.
100% agree with that. Yeah.
I was pretty comfortable. Once we got the second goal, relaxed. I think we just played within myself, if I'm being honest, Bridgeman.
Oh, yeah. My wife was very happy with me, I'm normally jumping up and down, blah, 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 blah.
What did you do all the time?
Oh, she was, that's what I'm saying. She was very happy with me, calming down and things like that. No, absolutely superb, by the way. Absolutely superb. I think that, may I just say this, if you haven't said it, but congratulations to our goalkeeper, Mr. McGregor. That's his 400th appearance for Rangers. In 2 shifts, of course. Just wonderful. A great day for Rangers. A massive 3 points. And now we go into the new year. Come on, Rangers.
Well said, Bridge.
21 games, Linda. 19 wins. 19 wins.
Yeah, absolutely.
2 draws. 56 for. 5 against.
Incredible.
That's unbelievable, isn't it, when you think about it? It's nearly New Year, and we've only lost 5 goals. Oh, wow.
I know you used to lose that by August, Bridgeman.
Oh, for God's sake, aye. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
And it's the 13th league win in a row, Ox. Was that right today?
I think that may be
That's right.
One of our top ever, mate. It's up, right up there, London. I mean, with the invincible season back in the day, but
yeah,
in modern football, I know we've done 11 wins in 92, 93, but we've done on the journey. I think we went a lot of games, but in top flight, it's got to be up there. 13 wins.
I think the last one was under Scott Simon at the beginning of his career with Rangers. But I couldn't bet £100 on that, but I'm quite sure that's what it was.
No,
but marvellous anyway, just utterly fantastic. And this team that we've got now, even in the back of our minds, we don't think they're a great team, and we couldn't hold them up against any other team in our minds, but really you can, and you should be, because they're here, and they're playing every team in the league, and we're doing the business. I'm so happy.
I think you don't get legendary status, Bridgeman, till you've got things with ribbons on it. That right?
Of course, yeah, I understand. But by the way, when you're saying that, haven't Rangers just put themselves right up there? And what an opportunity we've got to go on after New Year and do the business. Really and truly, what an opportunity.
I'm only going to tell you this once. I know I call you a lot of names off here, but your name is Linda. All
right, okay. Apologies.
People might start talking. You need the ribbons on the things first, Linda, before you get the legendary status, but it's coming.
Yeah, I know, and I think that's why we were obviously also disappointed we got out the cup, because we thought that's going to be a really early opportunity, Ox, to get silverware. But since that game, that's us. We've beaten Motherwell 3-1, St Johnstone 3-0, Hibs 1-0, and St Mirren 2-0. And what I like about the last 3 games in particular, yeah, we've not rattled in 5 or 6 goals, but we've kept clean sheets. And as Bridgeman always says, if you do that, you've got more than a brilliant chance of actually winning the game. So that's been particularly pleasing. I think Gerrard will be delighted with that.
Here. All right then. So we'll get people on and get their thoughts. What's the number, Bridge?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Or join us at Skype at RangersRadio.online. You brought in a call with Fox or Old School Blue. Phone in, hang up, we will phone you back. And then we'll bring you into the conversation. So we'll get people's thoughts. But when you came onto into the studio before the start, I sense a bit of excitement, Linda.
I was delighted. I wasn't nervous as such, Ox. I just think we all have had to listen to since the Hibs game, and then all the stuff about penalties and everything else. I was just so glad that we got the 3 points and we put in a reasonably good performance, and we can just look forward to the next game now. But yeah, I was quite excited.
Hello.
Hello, Carl. How are we doing?
Hi. Oh, everything's fine.
All right. What's on your mind?
Oh, I enjoyed the game. A bit disjointed. I thought Aribo came into it in the second half better than he was in the first half. I thought in the first half he was a bit too deep, and just, I don't know. It was a funny game for me. Even though we scooted it, it's 2 goals were in, that was it done.
At the finish, we scooted it. All right, we'll accept, Linda. It wasn't a vintage performance, but it was all about the 3 points. That's the point you were making, Linda.
Yeah, it wasn't a vintage performance, and as I say, we haven't gone out and rolled over them, like 5 or 6-0. And I know people really wanted us to score 3, 4 or 5 goals, but it was never going to be that type of game. We just really needed to win that game. And, within ourselves, as you say, Ox, we played, we managed the game. They had a couple of chances, they had some corners, but they're playing at home, so you would expect that. No, I just thought it was a terrific 3 points.
Carl?
Oh, I thought it was a terrific 3 points, but the performance wasn't what I was awaiting. I was awaiting a wee bit better, I still think we're we don't shoot. We just don't shoot. Sorry, if we're outside the box, we just don't do it.
Well, we're not blessed with these types of players, but we've not got Albers or Steven Gerrard on the pitch. But I don't know if you noticed, particularly the first half, he had about 3 or 4 first-time shots, came our roof. They never came to anything. They were all blocked, but obviously they were trying to get shots away early to get shots in, but it never worked out. Look, at the end of the day,
end of the day, I'm happy as hell, you know.
We're playing with a handbrake on him and a nice comfortable 2-0 win. We'll take that all day long, Carla.
I would take that every day of the week. It's coming up. You know how the nerves are starting to, everything's starting to go. No, we've got the 3 points. This is the 3 points I wanted. By Saturday, you know yourself. You're old enough and intelligent enough to know that game handles itself. And the ball is round, it rolls in every direction. You know, we've got
Right. I don't know about the old enough. I'll take the intelligent enough.
You'll take the old enough and on. It's simple as that. I can tell your boys.
Me and Linda will take the intelligent. Bridgeman, you can have the other one.
I'll go for the age. Is it the age?
Well, you going for the age?
Well, I'm nothing else I can go for, is there? That's it.
He's the only guy. Everything. When he gets a mature cheese, he's the only guy in the studio that's older than some of them.
The only thing I can say is if you can part your hair on 2 sides and then part it in the middle, you're doing quite well, you know.
Well, I've got to say, Prince has got quite a good thatch. He's got a good thatch.
Has he?
Aye.
Does he live in the country? Has he got a grass roof? If I had a good thatch, I would be quite a happy man. I can see if I had to split my one hair of goat and put it each side, I would be quite pretty gallus, you know.
Right, who was the star man for you today?
For me, Hollander, I thought he had a great game. Barisic showed great defensive qualities. Hadji, to a certain extent, and wee Alfie ran his guts out again and showed that he can hold up midfield play and he can defend.
Yep. I thought Hadji started the game well, Linda. I really did. I mean, I know I've been critical of him, but I did think he started the game well.
Yeah, he did, and he's obviously got his assist as well, so that's good for him. I don't know whether people expected him to start. Maybe folk were surprised that Kent was, on the bench, but I think, he's used the squad well over the last few games, so we probably were all quite happy with the starting 11. But Hadji, I think he's grown in confidence, Ox, and there's still more to come from him.
No, what surprised me, they said he was 6 foot in the commentary. Did anybody else hear that?
No.
Is that standing in a box?
Aye, I must have either I've been dreaming.
No, I think it's when he's getting held up in somebody's shooters when we win something,
They were talking about when he get fouled a couple of times, how he's slighting frame. But I'll need to check that out. Anyway, we've been joined by a caller. Evening, caller.
Hi. Hello.
How you doing?
I'm only second. It's only my second time actually calling up. I'm actually.
All right, mate. I never caught your name, mate. Darren.
Darren. I just wanted to actually say, well done to Rangers today. We got the job done. We're still undefeated in 16. Well, we're still undefeated in the league and we're 16 points ahead of Celtic. So I'm buzzing for the weekend. It's going to be a hard game. But if we play their best, I think there's nothing I can see by Rangers winning, to be quite honest.
Listen, Darren,
I thought the day was... Sorry.
On you go, mate. On you go. Carry on.
I was going to say that we played Celtic in the last 5 games we played against them, so I just think if Rangers win at the weekend, we're going to end up winning the league.
I hope you're right. Do you know what? I'll be really honest with you, and I'll take this to Linda then Bridge. If Rangers play and they play, Rangers win. There's no doubt, because we're a better side than they are. Linda?
Yeah, I would agree with that, Ox. And I think, going into the game, we'll be full of confidence because we've just come off of the back of 4 really great results. And I know they've hit a bit of form as well, but I still think we're the better footballing team. I think we've got more danger in terms of scoring goals throughout the team. So I would agree with that. If we play, we'll create chances and we'll score the goals. But it is going to be a tough game. But I still expect us to go and do, the business and get the victory.
Right, we're going to part that, Darren. We're going to part that. We've got a show at 8 o'clock tonight. We're going to talk particularly about Saturday's game. Who's Sean?
Okay, I was just going to say about today.
Yep.
Today's game, I thought Morelos was really good today. He played really well today, but Aribo was a standout for me in the midfield. He was just unbelievable, so he was. But see, at the end of the game, I thought maybe about 75 minutes into the game, we actually looked like we were tired. I don't know if any of you guys seen that as well. I thought we just looked a wee bit tired at the end of the game.
Never picked up on that, mate. We were still breaking away and going forward. I think the last 15 minutes of the game, I just felt that we were tired. Like, it looked like we were tired and slowing down obviously the playing that. So I just felt like, I'm hoping that doesn't happen obviously at the weekend. No.
Part of that was a good performance.
I never picked up on that, mate. I thought we kept the energies up when we were breaking away all the time, and we should have scored more goals, actually. Bridgeman?
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. We definitely should have. I thought that Rangers were by far the better team of the two. So Mirren got a wee bit in the few minutes in the sun, kept nice possession football, and brought out a couple of wee nice blocks from our defence. But I think our defence was absolutely superb and resolute. And I thought that we saw, maybe for the first time this season, maybe for the first time since he came to Rangers, we saw a side of Mr. Barisic that we've all wanted to see. He put on a nice piece of defensive play as opposed to his superb attacking play. And everything he did turned to gold. I thought he was excellent today from a defensive perspective. Excellent. And that, to me, that epitomised all the Rangers.
I thought we played amazing today. I thought we played really well. So I'm happy we got the job done, and we just need to
big 3 points, Darren. Big 3 points, mate.
Big 3 points, mate. I'm buzzing for
anyway, talking about big people. Talking about big people, we've been joined by Cairo, and I don't mean that big in personality. How are we doing, Cairo? He's on mute. Come on, Cairo. Come off of mute. Press the button. Well, we'll come back to him once he's...
I'm not on mute. I'm on mute. You can hear me now?
We can hear you now, aye.
Oh, that must have been a mute. You must have let me in and mute.
Aye.
Anyway, the old saying, you're in a hole, stop digging.
How we doing, brah?
All right, I'm doing fine.
Merry Christmas to you and your good lady.
Yeah, thank you very much. Season's felicitations to yourselves, everybody in the panel and everybody listening.
Gemstone that lives in your house.
Yeah, thank you very much, I'm sure.
Happy Christmas time, Cairo. Happy Christmas time.
Happy Yule time.
Merry Christmas.
How you doing, Linda?
Merry Christmas, Cairo.
Same to yourselves. Well, that was a cheery game today, wasn't it? I was a wee bit apprehensive before it, and as much as the amount of chances we've been creating the last 2 or 3 games haven't been as many as they were before that. We were creating oodles of chances, although we weren't converting them all, but we were scoring several goals. So I was just a wee bit concerned that we weren't going to create any chances. We never really created that many. So that's a slight difference for where we've been a couple of 2-3 games ago. I don't know what Tav get booked today for. That was never a booking. And I agree with Bridgeman about the way Barisic played. He was very disciplined today, very disciplined. I'd have started today, I think, with Zungu. I think I'd have kept it Steve Davis, although he did control the game. But I think the way we'd set up, the way they set up, we weren't going to be in real danger, but our defence did do a marvellous bit of work. And what I did like as well is our work half the ball still seemed to be there. We still seemed to be hunting in packs. So it's just this creating chances part of it that worries me a wee bit. And I know we've got, for the first half of it, our defenders were scoring all our goals and all that kind of thing. The last couple of games, Roof's got a couple. Once the two of them start to click, I think we're really on it. I just think we're I think we've got my concern now is the amount of chances we're creating isn't enough compared with what we were creating before. You know, that zippiness that we had, that sort of a lovely one-touch, quick as you like passing, just seems to be missing a wee bit now, and I don't know how we get that back. But defensive-wise, I don't think we're any danger today. And I wasn't looking for a barrel load of goals today, but I think what's concerning is the lack of chances. That's the only thing. But apart from that, nice professional performance, scored a couple of good goals. Get in there.
We sort of there was 20 minutes in that game, but it wasn't a great watch. Cairo, we just laid the ball mostly at the halfway line. And we were just happy for them to have it. So as long as you're playing like that, sort of playing within yourself, you're not going to create chances. But I think the last 20 minutes, once we started picking the pocket and we started driving forward, we might not have tested the goalkeeper, but we're in a lot of situations where if we'd made the right pass, we could have scored a goal, but we never made the right pass right at the end.
And I think that defensive, that intensity, high level work intensity, and whilst there was bits, it was there the day. It seemed, you're right. I think we did at 2-0 up. I think we did say, well, we'll let them play the ball at the back. It's not going to damage us. Whereas in the past, I think we've kept that high intensity and we've went through and we've been creating more chances. And the other night there when we were talking about our subs coming on and doing a fantastic job for us, I think Gary McAllister was absolutely right. You've got to credit the boys that slogged on for 60 odd minutes and actually tired the other ones out for the subs to be able to do what they were doing. They created chances. That didn't happen today, and I think it's partly about what you're saying, the fact we did kind of sit back a wee bit and let them, for that 10-15 minutes, we did let them own the ball because they weren't doing anything with it. So is it fruitless to do that? Whereas our game is, up until recently, has always been that high intensity, high press, get in there, hunting packs type of thing. So maybe that's what's changed a wee bit. I don't know, but certainly for me, I'm not saying it's terminal or anything like that, but I think it's just something I would like to see getting back into where we were before about getting that high intensity, making the chances, and that way there. I think we'll get back to where we were. And as you say, 8 days after that, this game on Saturday for a wee breather, so all the wee knocks, all the wee stuff, get back to training, get your head back round about what we're trying to do again and get refocused is all the good stuff.
That's good points, Carol. Look, I'd have took a 2-0 result before the game started. I think that was the point that you were making, Linda, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I understand where Cairo's coming from. Maybe like 6 weeks ago we were playing sort of free-flowing football. We were limiting the chances that teams were getting against us, but we were creating loads of chances. But we've just discovered different ways to win football matches, and I'm absolutely delighted with that because that's what happens when you win things. You've got to find different ways of actually winning games. And as you say, Cairo, they're going to get a wee chance now to work on things on the training field that they've not had, over the last few weeks. So, but yeah, Ox, 2-0 was fine for me.
I think you were saying similar to Cairo. It wasn't a vintage performance, Carl, but 2-0, 3 points, 13 wins in a row, move on.
That's all I say, but I think we're all forgetting that teams do suss you out. Managers are managers for a reason. And they sort of suss out their system. They've sort of negatified in the last few weeks. Nobody can disagree. Barisic and Tav, they've sort of been negatified in the game. Not unless our forwards get more because they're watching them that much. That's how our forwards are starting to get in the goal sheet as well,
Yin and yang, mate. Yin and yang.
It is yin and yang, exactly. That you've got to expect a manager isn't a manager because he's a complete twat. You know what I mean? He's got to have something up there that he can watch a game. I mean, I could watch it before and I say, the ball from McGregor's going out, I kick out to Tavernier, he'll head it or chest it down on the line, on the goal line just before the halfway line. I mean, you see it every week, so you must say, that's what they're going to do. You watch them.
Aye, you stop them, nullify them, aye. I mean, obviously the boy was following Tav for the first hour of the game, pretty much. So he stopped Tav. Tav was angry, Bridgeman. I don't know if you noticed it. I think he felt that young Hadji, just when he gets substituted, he could have rolled it back to him, but I don't know.
Absolutely, yeah. I think he actually took a knock, Tavernier. I think his whatever injury he had been carrying, maybe a bad back or something like that. I think he took a knock today, and it's maybe, should I say, knocked him out, and that's when he got, well, no long after that, he got substituted. Balogun, a good substitute.
They gave him a big rest. They took him off with 2 minutes.
2 minutes to go. I think it was an injury. I think he got an injury, a wee knock. Let's put it that way. But you know, when you look at our team and what we've played over the last 4 games, we played Motherwell, absolute murder. We played St Mirren, absolute murder. St Johnson, absolute murder, and St Mirren again, absolute murder. They're sick in the life out of football.
Aye. Excuse me, can I come in? My missus says it's a big shout out to the backroom staff, the physiotherapists and everything, because that wee boy Hadji and Morelos must be black and blue when they come up again for the dunce they get after the boys away.
Isn't it just shocking? Isn't it just shocking?
Really?
And that referee, I don't know how many yellow cards were given out today.
I think it was 3. I think we got 2. Wait, no, 2. 2 for us and 2 for them, I think.
Yeah, but how on earth can that be? For God's sake, they're absolutely raking down the back of our legs. Oh, sorry, guys, I get angry with them.
That's all right. I'm quite like that as well myself, but I'm not allowed when I phone you. But she's in there making me a coffee.
You ought to hear Bridge in real life.
Oh, you want to hear me in real life?
Oh my God! Don't start.
I've got scratch marks up and down my wall. I get booked for kicking the coffee table again, only because it nutmegged me.
Very good. That's very good, that one. I like that. Oh dear.
Cairo, knew that that's 13 wins in a row. We've got to admit we're in a good place, and obviously the way the fixtures have came over a few away games, and we've chopped them off, and now we're at home. Arguably, our biggest game in a decade, mate.
This was our biggest game.
I think the circumstances were the next one. Cairo, come on, half a mute. Come on, Cairo, last chance. Okay.
All right, okay. Somebody keeps putting me on mute. You must be the backroom.
Somebody's on the side watching you playing snooker. Fell asleep.
I'm scared for that.
That was last year. That's so last year, Bridge. A couple of fair points here. I mean, the booking situation first is, I think, is absolutely right. I mean, how could we come up with the same bookings as them today? I mean, they must have got. I always remember the joke with Gaza where he was up in court for something, and the judge tried to get him off by saying, when he says, "Oh, he's a famous football player," and the judge says, "Oh, is he?" He says, "Would that be association or rugby?" Well, I think it's kind of the same with the way teams are shaping up against us, the way they're playing. They must never go to association. It must be American, the amount of blocking that goes on. And we don't seem to get booked. We seem to get booked for nothing. And these guys are, I mean, there were a couple of times a day where players were running through, and it was like linebackers getting blocked, blocking folk off. It's just absolutely crazy. Why Tav get booked, I don't know. But the biggest example was Morelos. I think it was 2 games ago. He get booked early. He get booked early and affected the way he played. And a couple of their players are afraid they get booked the same. We might have had. They wouldn't have been as abrasive or abusive the way they were tackling if they get booked. And Morelos, it was pretty much like Tav's booking the day. There was nothing much in it. So there is something in the bookings. And then I forgot what your question was. What was your question again?
Oh, brilliant. He's just lining himself up to take the green now, isn't he?
So what was your question?
Well, man, I'm just going to put you back.
This is the Vodafone voicemail service for
you threw me with that.
0741.
You threw me.
I've told you years ago you used to be muted. What was the question? That's a good point. Linda, help me out.
I don't know. Was it about? I don't know if you asked about going forward at our next big game, or I can't remember.
It was what in a blow the brig. That's right. Aye, it is our next game. Take the bridge analogy. Well, that game that played's gone now, so the next big game is this game coming up, and I think it is a big game coming up. I think I don't think the league depends on it. I think we're out all these kind of situations whereby
it's no make or break for us, mate. But you could argue it's make or break for them.
Well, it's mere make or break for them. It is auction. I think we'll go to keep the pressure on them. You can see the other things in the paper now, the way things are going. They're trying to deflect all the weight onto Gerrard's shoulders and the Rangers' shoulders. So we just need to counteract that. No, I think we're in a fantastic place. If they gave me this at the start of the season, Oxford, I would have taken it. If we just if we start creating any chances again, I'll be over the moon, because we'll score more than anybody's going to score against us.
14 W's anyway. We've been joined by Gary. 13 W's, hopefully 14. How are we doing, Gary?
Very good, mate. Very good.
What are you worried about?
I know, what was that? What was I worried about? A lot of nonsense. Nah, I wasn't worried, mate. I was just wanted it to go right, tick the box. And we've done that. So all eyes on Saturday, mate. I'm going to start drinking now. You want to join me?
I'm easily led. Easily. Who's Sean for you, Gary? Who's Sean for you personally?
I'll be honest with you, mate. I think overall, taking the game, I think all the players done well, and what was a wee bit of a banana skin, they had a wee bit of a kryptonite, mate, to be honest with you, because that was a hard game for us, like, trying to work them out, and they asked a couple of questions early on. They didn't create, like, McGregor didn't have to make any real saves or anything like that, that's not what I'm saying, but they kind of opened up a couple of doors early on and asked a couple of questions, but when we settled into the game and got the first goal, I think Hadji's first, the through ball to put Roof in, mate, I thought he had a good wee game. He's in a good vein of form at the moment. Nobody had a really outstanding game, as in, you know, it was a good team performance. Aribo's some player, isn't he? Kamara as well at the end, his quick feet and all that in the corner, just a bit of gameplay and keeping the ball and winding down the clock, which we've done for the last 4 or 5 games. It shows a good bit of maturity.
All right. Listen, we've been joined by a caller, and I'm just going to go to him, but I think he might have misheard. We said the show was on, and then we're having another show. This show's not on to 10 o'clock. We'll be joined by Magpie Jar. Evening, Magpie.
Yeah, I'm keeping you here to the new year. What are you talking about? We're bringing in the bells together. What are you doing? How are you, lads?
Merry Christmas, Magpie. Always a pleasure.
Merry Christmas. Listen, lads, I've been working quite a lot of shifts just now, so I've never actually seen the game. But the reason I phoned up, I just wanted to say, I think it's time that Rangers started to draw your attention the SFA towards guys like Goodwin, who are commenting on penalties that should be given against Rangers. I've never heard that in my life, where another manager is just turning around talking about another game that he wasn't involved in and saying, you need to start. That is putting pressure on referees, and you know it's all designed. It was the same last year. The press tried to unsettle Rangers with this person's interested, this club's interested, this club's interested, that person, this club's, and you know, and then it was on about decisions. Now, have you ever seen a football team that get dissected every game, every incident against them like Rangers? BBC in particular, they've got a monopoly on it. You know, you wouldn't think that Rangers were the victims of any bad tackles, as what you guys were talking about today, or any thuggery, or any cheating. No blatant, not talking about the blatant dive for the guy trying to gain a penalty. And then he gets interviewed during the week to talk about it. You know, you could look at the Scott Brown situation. There's a video going about YouTube. I'm pretty sure the press must see it. But about 30 elbows that Brown's done in stamping, and he doesn't even get booked, never mind called up with the compliance officer. But the pressure is put on this referee, who we all know is basically under the greatest pressure as it is, because they're convinced he's a Rangers fan, not to give a penalty to Rangers in a situation where they might have merited one. It's a joke, mate. And I think the longer the club go, just stay quiet about it. and go about their business as if this isn't going to happen. It will happen. The thing that will beat Rangers this year is bad referee decisions. I don't know what you guys think about that.
All right, mate. A lot of stuff in there. Listen, first and foremost, I think Goodman showed the kind of character he is, and I don't think anybody was surprised. I'm going to keep Bridgman away from this because his wife will thank me because his blood pressure. You've mentioned a few things there. You've mentioned BBC referees, and I just feel that he would have to go and take a large tablet. So, Linda, you can answer this question. Bridgman, you have a seat.
I wouldn't disagree with anything that Magpie says, and sometimes I try and not get myself involved or read anything that's been said in the media, but it's been quite difficult this week because people have been retweeting things on Twitter, etc. The Goodwin comment I thought was absolutely disgusting. As you say, I don't know why he's commenting on another team. His team actually got a penalty, so again, why was he actually coming out and saying that? But the rhetoric in the media this week has been particularly bad and is really starting to get, it's annoying people now. I don't know, Gary McAllister was asked yesterday in the press conference whether he thought that everything that Rangers does just now seems to be overanalysed. And Gary McAllister said, yes, up here we do seem to be, overanalysing everything. But yeah, there is an agenda, unfortunately, but we've just got to keep doing our talking on the park, I think.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello, yes, hello.
You've got the show in the background. Can you turn it off?
I've put the sound down.
Aye, okay, because how we doing? What's your name, mate?
My name is Billy Jarvie.
How we doing, Billy? Nice to speak to you. First time on?
Yes, I've been trying to go in a few times. Every time I try to get through, I just...
Busy.
Busy.
Aye, busy.
There was a few things. The last caller actually said everything that I've felt for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to mention this to you as well. When somebody was talking, I think it was a day or two, and he says, because of what happened up at Dundee United might have a good wee chance against Celtic. Now, I happened to look at the team selection from Dundee United today. They had 3 centre forwards playing against Celtic. Many did they play against us. I noticed according to the report, on the bookings, they had 5 bookings. Now, when they tell me, what does that tell you?
Well, they had a go.
Aye, they had a go, aye.
The referee can write.
5 bookings. He plays 3 centre forwards. You think he would play 3 centre forwards against Rangers?
No.
No, even at Canada, he said, wouldn't he? And he goes to Park here and he says, right, I'm going to play 3 centre forwards.
I mean, we checked out a stat. I don't know if you listen, Billy, but we checked out a stat after the Motherwell game, and when they played there, they had 45 or 48% possession. They get beat 3-1.
I know, but I can't believe his team selection. I can't believe that he actually played that 3 forwards, 3 centre forwards against Celtic.
Listen, don't worry about them, mate. What about us?
No, I'm not worried about us. Well, I'm very impressed with it. I never get seen the game of the day. I can listen to the wireless.
Well, okay,
the wireless, the Rangers wireless thing.
Listen, there wasn't a lot happened up to we got the first goal. I think that'd be fair.
I heard my mate actually says to me that he actually had it. He had it, and he was saying there was nothing happened either. He says, but we just took our time. I was glad he put Big Hollander in because he needed his power in the air. I don't know, but it's Celtic game whether he might play the big man. I don't know. Maybe
I think he'll play him.
Because of maybe danger for set pieces and corner kicks himself. He might play him.
We got the goal.
I don't know about the rest of the team because it's sort of up for grabs most of it.
We got the goal. We got the goals within 6 minutes each other, and then Peter Duke. The start of the second half, they had a lot of the ball at the halfway line. They were trying to put it in. We weren't in any danger, and then we started breaking away. And really, we should have scored more goals, but we never. But we are actually one of the quite comfortable winners. Would that be fair, Linda?
Yeah, absolutely. That's spot on, Ox.
Well, they had that one. Sorry to interrupt. According to Rangers television, that was the case as well. We just kind of took our time, made sure we got the goals. I'm hoping Alfred plays on Saturday. I think he must play, in my opinion. Only. I think he must play. I would say he's a cert to play, but who knows what Stevie's going to do? I don't know. Be interesting to see. Another point that the guy made before I phoned in there was about BBC Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
I went down to Dermot Gallagher and he was asked two opinions about the two penalties that Rangers should have given or Hibs should have got. He wasn't asked anything about the one with Porteous. See, this is the BBC again, choosing to show people what they want to see, what they want them to see.
Well, we know there's an agenda. But
without a doubt there is.
We've won 13 games in a row. We have to just keep scoring more goals than the other team. If you don't mind getting yourself on mute, we can hear from your manager, Stephen Gerrard.
Right, I've got it on mute now, sir.
All right, cheers, boys.
Why don't I get back to you one thing about it just before you go on? I went to school in Drumchapel.
Right, okay.
No, you didn't.
Aye, I did. Well, no, I didn't. I'm 74, right? I know I talked to somebody that's a wee bit younger than me in the show. Is that right?
That's me.
Aye, right. Now, I went to Waverley School.
He's in
Kingston Road. And the other school was actually Kingsridge, which was in Drumchapel. And we used to get the buses from Drumchapel to Waverley and back again. So I did stay in the Drum for quite a wee. I went to school in the Drum and ended up back in Maryhill again.
Bridge went to St Pius. So we'll come
back to I played football up there, St Pius.
Right. Get yourself in. We're going to hear from your manager, Stephen Gerrard, MBE.
Ask the players to really own the pitch out of possession, and can we get back to keeping clean sheets on the bounce? And we've done that. We've delivered that, I thought, out of possession, where we wasn't really caused many problems. There was a few little nervy moments, but in the main we've managed it really well. In terms of our style, it probably wasn't there for the majority of the game. I thought it was really patchy, but look, there's a lot of positives to take away. Both number 9s have scored a goal. I thought Joe Aribo and Glenn Kamara were immense. Thought they were really good, and we've kept another clean sheet. So in the main we're happy, and we move into the weekend in a good place.
Yeah, in an attacking sense, as you say, both 9 scoring. Giannis with another assist today. Very pleasing their performance, I'm guessing.
Yeah, Giannis has come back into the team and he's contributing really well. I've got some big decisions to make for the weekend, but that's where I want to be. People are pushing for places, and that's the way it is. But I'll pick a team that I think can do the job against Celtic, not really go on who scored in the last game or who's in form. I need to obviously pick a team that's going to do the job against Celtic, and there'll be no sentiment. It'll be the team that I think can get us the 3 points.
And as you say, on the clean sheets, 3 on the bounce now, 17 in total for the season. It's just a fantastic record overall.
Yeah, it's been a real strong reaction from our performance here, where I felt as if we wasn't ourselves. But I've took responsibility for that performance. The point return in the league is really, really good and really, really strong. But there's another 3 available at the weekend that we want to go and give everything we can, the best version of ourselves, collectively and individually. And I'm confident we can get them 3 as well.
You say you maybe didn't quite have your normal style today. Were you pleased though you still had a good element of control over the game?
Yeah, I thought we managed the game really well, and at times we showed that we had control. I just think certain individuals have got to take a bit more responsibility. You're playing for Rangers, your decision making and not showing the ball to the opposition. You've got to look after it better. But look, we're playing against an organised team, an aggressive team who come and put you under immense pressure. The pitches are getting a little bit bobbly and sticky, so you can understand elements of it. But at times and in patches of the game, we have to show a better style.
Yeah, again, a quick turnaround before that Celtic game on Saturday. What did the next 48 hours or so look like?
A quick turnaround to the Old Firm is always good, Nick. The quicker it comes, the better for me. I'm really looking forward to it. A fantastic game. We're in a good place. Can't wait for that whistle to go.
Bring it on.
I think you're quite right in saying that. Actually, I can't wait for the game myself to see how it turns out. But it'll be interesting to see what he's saying. It'll be interesting to see his team selection.
Aye, mate. After they put Brandon Barker at Celtic Park, mate, I don't think any of us could ever guess his team.
No, I don't want to say anything about Brandon Barker. It wouldn't be very complimentary, I'm afraid. Sorry to say.
No, I know, but
he's still a Rangers player just now.
Rangers, they played in that victory. Magpie, 13 wins and a bounce. I know you never seen the day's game, but we're on a good run of form, mate.
Oh, listen, mate. Part and parcel. Look, you've got to look at the weather conditions. You've got to look at the state of the ground, the tightness of that ground, and again, a team that are allowed to be physical. Because I've said this on a number of occasions, the Scottish football gets refereed in a different way anywhere else in Europe would be refereed. They'd be sending Oscar Lowe with some of these tackles. And that is what a lot of the Scottish public have grown up enjoying. I like technical football, as you know myself, with physicality, but, tempered. But the truth of the matter is, it's an amazing achievement. What I want for Rangers, but I'm really desperate for Rangers to go out for the first whistle and attack that team and do what Sparta Prague and those teams are doing. Run the legs off them. Don't let them settle. We can't allow them to settle into games. Even though we might not think they're as good as they think they are, they're still a danger. I'm disappointed in that guy, Colston, but I mean, he's needing dropped to the bench. He never scored today. What's up with him? I mean, it's shocking, you know what I mean?
I've been tough, drop the two.
But that's what I was trying to say is maybe we haven't really scored a lot of goals for corner kicks in that recently. So maybe get back to that again, because that's where they're vulnerable at the back. You know what I mean? I'm hopeful we'll win. I'm more confident than I've been for a long while that we'll win. But I'm always worried at the back of my mind. Also, the reason I phoned this, the pressure being put on referees is shocking, and it's evident that's what's happening with the press. I mean, I'll tell you a perfect example. The Guardian, I don't read it, but I was looking on Twitter. I always look at Rangers stuff on Twitter. And basically, and it was like two headlines, the Guardian, the Motherwell game, Rangers struggle. Languid Rangers just get past Motherwell, and then the other one was Rangers struggle to overcome while Celtic still turn on the style against Hamiltonakis reserves with a penalty kick. It was as soft as anything. This is they can put on a referee before a game shocking, and the SFA should make an example of this Goodwin, because he's just done the exact same.
Listen, this is a post-match show about today's game, mate, so we've got a show coming up tonight, 8 o'clock, we'll be building up to Saturday's game. But on the days, Gerard's comments, Gary B, he's pretty spot on. He's not saying we were vintage, but we've done enough to do the job and we can play better.
That's it, mate. Today was about 3 points, but more than that, I think it was about laying down a marker, no slip-ups, and getting a clean sheet, getting guys running, and making sure that we get a clean runway going into the weekend's game, we'll talk about one game at a time, which is how Steven Gerrard will approach it and how he'll implore his players to approach it, and rightly so. But as a professional outfit, you always have to maintain that rhythm of we need to do today's work to set up the next day's work, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So like anybody, if you're a chef, you clean down your sides and you make sure your kitchen's tidy before you come in the next day and do your work. And that's what we had to do today. We had to make sure that everything was sorted and that we were ready to go for the weekend's work. And that's done now. So we can clean down, ready to go, and all eyes on the weekend. No question marks, no dirty marks, no blemishes, nothing, ready to go. And like he was saying, he's commented on it, so I will before tonight. I cannot wait for the weekend, and that's all I'll say on it, Kenny.
Linda, then we'll go to Cairo.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of what the manager said, you're right, Ox, he's very honest. He's not going to come out and say everything was brilliant, because it wasn't. He commented on our style of play wasn't there today, in abundance, but there was good moments. But he's also picked out a couple of positives for me. The 2 number 9s scoring, Alfie back on the score sheet, and talking about the fact that, defenders have maybe stopped scoring. But when they were scoring, we were wanting our forwards to chip in, and that's what they're starting to do. So at various stages, people are really stepping up to the plate, and I think that's even more positive for me, the fact that at different stages, our players are playing well, and they're contributing. So yeah, I think good result today and set us up nicely for the weekend.
Cairo, the manager, honest?
Yeah, I think so. I think he need no to be, is he? I mean, he knows better than us what the players are doing and how he's going to play. He said earlier on about the he's going to pick a team. There'll be no sentiment involved. He's going to pick a team that he thinks is going to beat them. So absolutely, as I say, the way we're playing defensively, I think we're strong. If we can hold out defensively, then just start making that couple of chances. They start opening up again up front. I think we'll have a great opportunity to tow them on Saturday.
You're here, mate. You're here. Yeah, we've been joined by Denver. Bear, how we doing, Denver?
Oh, if we only had the Rangers over here.
On yourself, big man. On yourself.
How's it going, guys? How's it going? We're up to freezing now. We're up to 0 degrees. 2 bears woke up for hibernation and asked me for a couple of dollars for a cup of coffee there. Man alive.
Real bears are our bears.
Wow, the real bears, man. Anyway, that's a great result today, guys. I mean, it only seems a couple of weeks ago since we were saying we couldn't string 3 games together. Now we've won 13 in a row, man. That's incredible. I
remember the Gerrard. It was he can't win 3 games in a row. Now he's done 13, mate. 13.
It's incredible. You know, Ox, on that wee run we had there, we look forward. I thought we'd drop a couple of points here and there, but to win all 8 games is just stellar stuff, man. Stellar and incredible.
Have you watched it yet, Denver?
No, I'm out of town now. I've got a 6-hour drive. I'm leaving a place called South Fork in South Colorado. I'm driving over the Rocky Mountains just as we speak. So, but I just want to wish you guys all the very best for 2021, and hopefully we win that 55 and bring it on.
On yourself, Denver. Happy New Year, big man.
All the best. I want to agree with Magpie, but that's my only concern is referees and the way we're being refereed at a different standard. It's shocking. Absolutely shocking.
Don't start me, Denver. Don't start me.
I know it. You can always take the blood pressure meds. But you'll be good to go, man. You'll be good.
You can only take so much.
I know, that's true, aye. Anyway, I'm going to keep listening to you guys, and you're travelling across the Rocky Mountains as we speak, so all the best, guys. Take it easy.
All the best, Dave, and Happy New Year, maybe when it comes.
All the best, guys. All the best. Bye.
Bridgeman's even famous in the Rocky Mountains, eh?
The Rockies. The Rockies.
I thought you were going to start singing the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia there. Bridgeman.
Leave that one to you, Cairo, because you know the words.
We can only do that at the bistro one day.
Oxtail's got it going now. He's going on now.
Oxtail's singing.
Fantastic, yeah.
Bridgeman,
you can say that. Of Virginia.
Bridge is the Blue Nose Mountains of Virginia.
Oxy's going about saying that's another fine mess you've got, man.
We had to have the 2 points I win, but they weren't thick enough for me and Bridge. Right, how big a game was that for us today in the whole scheme of things, Linda and then Cairo?
It was absolutely massive, Fox. Earlier on when I come on before, the show started, I was saying to Fox I was absolutely buzzing to get the 3 points. Yeah, it's fantastic, and it just sets us up nicely. So it was the biggest game of the season so far, as Bridgeman would say.
Cairo, then Magpie.
I think all I can say there is ditto. Absolutely what Linda says there. Absolutely stonewall ditto. I think it's using Bridges again, using his analogy. Every game's the biggest, but this is this was a real stepping stone for us today for Saturday, because depending on what happens on Saturday shows where we're going to go. I think as we said earlier, it's critical for us, it's critical for them. So hopefully they snap under the pressure, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see how they handle it.
Yeah, Magpie.
Oh, mate, definitely. That team had lost for a few games, you know what I mean? And their stuffy opponents said that we've not really had an easy game at Love Street for a while. If it's still called, I can't remember what it's called. But to me, that's just that's a marker. All we need to do is win this game. And to me, I would honestly say the league's won. That's how confident I am. because we've got a squad now, mate, but we didn't have a squad. Somebody said earlier on, I think Linda was saying the defenders were scoring when the forwards weren't. The forwards are scoring when the defenders weren't. We've got goals in midfield. We've got a complete team. We've got guys like Arfield go out. We've got somebody to come in. Do you know what I mean? I'm very confident.
Oh, I like it. Gary B.
Well, I said it last night, mate, that, yesterday we were 5 games, the biggest five days in, our last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And, I stand by that. And that's, that hurdle today. And you were looking at, lightning don't strike twice and they've beat us in the cup and, you don't see it happening in the league. But, they had a game plan last time they played us, mate. And you were just hoping that they weren't able to go out and get a goal or, set a question mark. Yeah, and we've went out and done the job. We've got the 3 points. And as I say, it goes into this game at the weekend now. And yeah, it was a huge game, mate. And I think big game this weekend. Still got to do the job there. But we'll cover that tonight. I'll be back on tonight, mate. Hopefully, if you'll let me on, and I'll let you know my thoughts on how I think how we'll shape up this weekend. But in order to get the weekend sorted, we have to get today done.
Yeah.
Can I come in?
Yeah, Bridgman.
I was just going to say that I agree with everybody said. This game today was the biggest game of the year for us, the whole year. That's the end of the year now, to all intents and purposes, and we're still sitting there. And every week we've been told by whomever that supports another team in this city that we're going to collapse and it's all going to happen, No, we're still here, and wow, we're still 16 points clear. Now that is an amazing amount of points to be clear at the turn of the year, and then we're going to play them. So what a wonderful opportunity we've got. Keep the heat, boys, keep the heat. That's all we want to do. Get out there and tan them. Mollocate them.
Aye, I think I get it, mate. Obviously, we'll put a big marker down, but we've got some awkward fixtures coming up after this game. But obviously, to go 19 points clear, potentially, we just 16 games left is a big thing. Well, Linda, sum up your thoughts on the day. I've never heard you so buzzing when you came into the studio. Is that because you had the most presents in your bundle? Me and Bridget, nothing as usual.
Well, it could be that, but I better not say in case you get disappointed or you get upset. It was just my new Rangers mug I had, so that was nice.
All right, okay.
Brilliant win. As I said today, it was a really, really difficult fixture for us, and I think we're just absolutely delighted. As Gary says, one game at a time, and it sets us up nicely for the weekend. But a massive 3 points today, Ox. Couldn't be any more pleased.
See you later on, kid.
See you later. See you later. Over to you, Bridgman. Over to you.
Right, what can I say? Just fantastic stuff, and well done there to everybody. Really well done. I think we've got a team we can be proud of, and the way we're playing football is really delightful at times. Really delightful. Great to see. I'm just hoping we can keep it all going, because we must keep it all going. Keep it going, Rangers.
Thanks to all the callers. Great to hear from all the callers. Billy Jarvie for the first time, I think. Aaron joined us. Thanks to Denver, Cairo, Magpie. Always a pleasure, Magpie. Bridgman and Linda, Fox, and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back at 8 p.m. with a build-up to Saturday's game. Take it away, Old School Blue.
Davy Whitey manages the best team in the land. Davy Whitey manages the best team in the land. Davy Whitey manages the best team in the land. And the Jazz go marching on. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. And the Jazz go marching he is their captain, courageous, bold and true. He just loves to play for the boys in Royal Blue. John Gregg, he is their captain, courageous, bold and true. And the Jers go marching on. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. And the Jers go marching on. Ibrox is their home, that's why I'm mighty proud. And if you come to Ibrox, you will see me in the crowd. And when they score a mighty roar, the fans will sing and cheer, and the Jers go marching on. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. The Jers go marching on. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. The Jers go marching on. Ibrox is their home, that's why I'm mighty proud. And if you come to Ibrox, you will see me in the crowd. And when they score a mighty roar, the fans will sing and cheer, and the Jers go marching on. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. And the Jers go